Can you believe it? I can't. I can't believe that today the war of aggression against Ukraine has reached the 174 mark with no end in sight. 174 days of war. When the war started 2 weeks in, I conducted interviews with young Ukrainians. I met them during the Media Dialogue Project 2021. As a journalist, a freelance journalist with a great passion for interviews, I held a podcast workshop there at the Institute of Journalism of the Taras-Schevchenko-National University in Kyiv. And I met wonderful students and also academics, professors there. I conducted interviews back then, and I will conduct interviews now, 5 months later. I want to hear their personal stories. I want to know how they are coping with the war, how they are feeling. The first interview is with Kateryna Sherback. She is an 18-year-old student, a journalism student. But together with her mother and her brother, she flew to Germany. She first lived in a little village in Bavaria in Germany, and recently she moved to Magdeburg up north in Germany. Her father and also her grandmother, they are still in Ukraine. And now she will tell us about their situation as well as about her new life in Germany.
Kateryna, it's very nice to see you again. The last time we spoke was in March, early March, and you just fled to Germany. So you lived in Kyiv before, and together with your mother and your brother, you then lived with friends in Bavaria in the south of Germany. And now you moved a 5-hour drive from Bavaria to Magdeburg. How come that you now live in a new city?
So I also wanted to say that it's nice for me to see you again. I didn't have time for saying it. So at first, we lived at our old acquaintance of our family who really made lots of efforts to reach us because we didn't speak in 20 years. It's just crazy, and we're really thankful for that. And she helped us in so many ways. And also we were really grateful. We also felt that for her, it must be really uncomfortable or complicated to let someone stay at her place for such a long time, more than 4 months. And we didn't want to make any problems for her. So we felt almost from the very beginning that we would have to think about moving out of her place. And luckily, our mom found a job in Magdeburg at the local research center, so a more scientific job. And yeah, we managed to move out of our friend's apartment, and also we still have some things to do to fully settle in. But we're glad that we're not anyone's burden anymore.
Mm-hmm. How is it for you that you changed places and homes quite often now within a year, and you didn't expect it before? Because when we met in Ukraine in November 2021, you just started uni. I mean, you had your life there, and suddenly you and your family decided to go to Germany, how is it for you moving within Germany, although you just like fled from Ukraine?
At first, fleeing Ukraine, I think that was the main shock and the most strong emotions, because I even didn't move in Ukraine. I always lived in Kyiv, so that's that was so much. But I guess at that time, moving wasn't the thing that we were worried most. So it's not what we were focusing about. We weren't focusing on the process. We just wanted to escape. And in Germany, I feel like because I didn't really belong in Bavaria, because it wasn't really my apartment, it wasn't my home. I felt that moving to Magdeburg is just something that we have to do.
So your dad and also your grandmother, they are still in Ukraine. How are they coping with the war? How often do you speak with them? What do they say?
I think coping with the war, that's exactly the right expression would be about saying how they feel. So I don't think that they get used to it much, I guess. For grandma, she is in Kyiv, so what makes her remember about the war most is air raid sirens that she hears every day and even at night. So sometimes she can't even sleep normally, to sleep much, and she has problems with sleep overall. So every time that we speak about once a week, I guess, with her. Every time she mentions this air sirens and how nervous it makes her feel, and I feel like it's kind of it damaged her nerves a bit, even more than for our father. So she always talks about the situation there because it's what surrounds her. But our father isn't in Kyiv, he's in the village near Kyiv. And he trains for territorial defense there. And luckily there aren't sirens there, and this is a small village which isn't the aim of the occupants, so that's why he's staying there and not in Kyiv. But the problems that he has there is finding medical help in such a small village. So that's also because of the war.
And when you call him, what do you talk about?
So I didn't mention it, but we speak with Dad much more often than with our grandma because he has internet, so we don't necessarily have to call him, like dial a number or anything. So we talk more often with him, and therefore there are many topics we can discuss. Yeah, I think it's just so many usual things that I don't even can't can say what the exact topic is. Yeah, so some topics are not usual to everyday life, like everything that is connected to war, but it can be everything.
Mhm. But you also said he trains for the possibility that he needs to go to war. How is the situation there? Does he know if he needs to help fighting?
He just wants to be ready just in case, but he's he's 58, so it's close to 60, and he often has problems with health. So we're not sure if he just wants to be ready just in case, but it's not that we imagine him fighting.
Mm-hmm. How is it for you being in Germany? Do you feel like a refugee? Like, do you say this to people, to Germans, hey, I'm from Ukraine? Or do you, like, how is it for you to live in a new country?
Just it's different from situation to situation. I feel homesick a lot and sometimes just lonely because I can't speak with people here. But just because on our way here we had so many people that helped us. I think it is easier for me than for others, than for other people from Ukraine. So I'm not really focused on the moments when I feel lonely or homesick because I know that it's just better for me than for many other people, and I know that I moved here to be safer. But sometimes, sometimes just don't know what I'm doing here, why I'm even here, and there's a lot of conversations about adapting. And also some people from Germany, they're just trying to help you and they're not being pushy, but sometimes it just seems a bit harsh. But I guess especially, I recently had a conversation with my friend who is in France, and uh, she told me that her French host told her that she has to forget about Ukraine, learn French, enter the French university, and there won't be Ukraine in 1 month. He started 2 months ago, so what does he know? But still, she cried all evening after hearing that, and although I didn't hear anything like that in Germany, I still sometimes felt like people only talk about adapting when truly what I want is just to be home. Because your country is much more than just a line in a passport. There's so many things like some cultural references, like even jokes and even in heart moments overall. And it's so nice to feel your language so much, to be so fluent in it, and you don't need it in Germany. And yeah, my point is that it's hard to live in a country where every connection to your homeland doesn't matter. And yeah, you don't need this knowledge here, and it would matter in Ukraine. I don't know, maybe you just felt something like this when moving to US, just because everyone's speaking English. And
Yeah, I mean, I guess the difference is that I moved to another country voluntarily, and you needed to flee because you were in danger. So what I hear is that you're very grateful and you're humble, but at the same time, you just like say, I know maybe I have it better than other Ukrainians, but I still don't want to be here, kind of. This is what I hear a bit. Which
not yeah, of course they didn't plan to be here, but I'm trying to use the opportunities that I have here. So I'm learning German, and overall I'm sure I develop lots of useful life skills. So it's not I'm not surprised, and I'm not annoyed with Germany. So yeah, I didn't choose it.
we met at the Institute of Journalism in Kyiv, and you wrote to me in a message a couple of weeks ago that you're about to submitting papers for uni. So I'm wondering, are you just like enrolled like a normal student at the Taras-Schevchenko University in Kyiv? So does uni life go on?
Yeah, we will study online next semester. Our university wrote us that there is no chance of resuming education offline. So I guess it will be like the last semester. I would just have online lessons like Zoom meeting, like like this one, but on a different topic. And because of coronavirus, I guess it was much easier to study like this, because we all been through the need to study online. And I won't be studying in Germany for now. I decided that I want to focus on learning a language and studying at my university for now.
Is there a moment that you can't forget about when you think of the last month since the war started?
I just don't think that I feel this months as moments. I rather can't believe that it's so many months that passed by. So it's a bit of a blur, because I don't have specific plans, and I don't really imagine how it's going to be or how long I'm staying. So we're just living day by day. Of course, it's easier for us here than for lots of people, and for people in Ukraine. But still, I don't think that I see this past months as moments. But I guess what I remember most is our first days here, when we were mostly hectic, because the emotions were the strongest at that time. And I mean, and when we were reading the news, I think I remember the pictures most from the war. Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like the negative emotions are the ones that are the strongest. But it's not, again, it's not like it's totally black color what I feel. It just, if I have to choose the strongest.
You know, when I asked you if you want to give me another interview, since you know I conducted interviews with you and the others from our Media Dialogue project when the war started, I think your first reaction was, yes, but I'm in Germany, so maybe, you know, it's not that interesting or anything. So Can you maybe elaborate on that, like your feeling of having maybe less to tell because you're safe, because you were able to flee?
Yeah, and also because being so far away, you we speak with relatives and read news, but still, when being so far away, the war doesn't seem. No, I wouldn't say that it doesn't seem real, but you can imagine it using your imagination. Just it doesn't work like that, and that's I don't think that maybe the information I can tell is right about the war. And yeah, I guess being there, I realized more how the foreigners must feel about the situation going there, especially in this little town in Bavaria with there were dogs just walking down the river bank, elderly people cozily sitting in coffee shops, and being in such place and in peaceful time, war seems to be a term from the other dimension. You can't really believe it. You can't fully grasp it. And although I'm sure that people still might have moments of shock when seeing the pictures or hearing the facts, but still you have your own life and your own plans. And over time, um, it always comes down to your problems and your interests. So I guess people remember war more now when talking about prices for gas and the hard winter that will come. And it's not that I can blame anyone for that. It makes sense to think about the things that concern you most. And also, it's not like that for me because I'm Ukrainian, but still, I just after some time, our family started to think about our own plans and our own future steps here, and it's just not connected to war. So I thought that maybe my opinion is not that relevant.
When you talk to your family who is still in Ukraine or your friends, are they interested in how you lead your life now in Germany, or is it that the war and the life on the ground is much more important during these conversations?
I feel like actually the contrary, because the war is more about how they feel, and they can't. It's usually not that they describe in many words in conversations. So I feel like it's actually us who talk more in the end, although we ask them how they feel naturally. But I guess they try to ask us more, I guess, how we are doing here. For grandma, who wasn't abroad much in her life, and maybe what she knows about Germany is something that she's heard from the TV. So she really likes to compare our experience and what she's heard. And for father, who was in Germany in different cities a few times, he tries to give us recommendations of where to go, or just give some piece of advice, even even if sometimes he's mistaken about how it is right now, but he tries to share his experience in Germany, and yeah, ask us also.
Your mother found a job in Magdeburg in Germany, which is great news. And I would love to know how your everyday life looks. So when you go outside, do you try to like use maybe German words? Have you met people maybe you can become friends with in the future? How does your life look like?
My German courses here will start in September, so so I couldn't resume them the day I moved in Magdeburg, and I feel like the courses is the main source of socialization and communication for me. That's where I spoke to people most. So I guess I didn't meet anyone in Magdeburg yet. But yeah, I really hope I will. About people. Actually, when I was trying to enroll on the course, I had to phone different schools and I tried to speak German, and I'm glad that they could understand me every time except one time when I got nervous and said a lot of gibberish, but the other times I'm proud of myself that I managed um, to ask what I need and get the answer right. So they're trying to speak with people here and with our landlord as well, who doesn't speak English, which is hard, but we really try to ask him about what we need, and I understand. I understand much better than I can speak. So for now, it is a struggle sometimes to communicate with a native, but I'm sure it's going to be better in the future.
If someone would now watch our interview and maybe a person who lives in Magdeburg even, would there be something that would help you in a way, something you, I don't know, would it help to reach out to you, or is it not the time yet? Is it rather the time where you still need to cope with the entire situation, that your dad is not with you, etc.?
What I like is some communication with Ukrainians. Maybe there are lots of Ukrainians in Magdeburg. Actually, I see them often, but I can't really speak to a stranger. That would be weird. So I hope I could find someone to talk to, maybe on the language course or in some other place. So yes, that would be something I would want. So that's I mostly like some communication with people from Ukraine who would understand me. But if there would be a person who would help me with German and with overall with the life here, and just just to talk, it would also be nice. So it is something I want to do.
When you think of your dad and your grandma being in Ukraine, is it something like a situation you're now used to, or is it that you're constantly worried about them?
I don't know how to say it correctly, but so I hope that they are all right, and I wish that they would be with me, but I don't require so much help to leave, so we're managing here. So it's not that I need their support, but I feel like maybe they need more of my support. Um, so I guess it's in this situation, uh, I wish I could help them more and not the other way around.
Thank you so much, Kateryna, that you took the time today and that we had another conversation.
It was nice to see you, and I hope I could see you in real life, maybe in media dialogue project. Who knows how it happens?
I'm sure we're gonna see each other.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Thank you so much.